Have you been searching for an automated referral program? What's up, blue collar business owner? Welcome back to the Blue Collar Prosperity Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Masker, where we focus on helping guide you to have a prosperous business. Today, we have with us Don Rabovsky. Don is the founder of Volca. Volca is a referral marketing platform that helps contractors automate and streamline their customer and B2B referral programs. So that is Don Rabovsky. Welcome, Don. Thank you so much for being here. What is going on today?
Thank you, Paul, for having me. I'm excited to share a little bit about my story and then also a little bit about Volca.
Awesome. Yes. Likewise here. Excited to learn about your story. Definitely excited to learn about Volca as well, because I know I've seen it on social media for years. Everyone's looking for that referral program that they just can't figure out. How do we actually implement this thing? How do we find one that works? So we'll dive into all that. But before we do, like you had referenced your story. So how'd your journey start? How'd you get to where you are today?
Yeah. So I've been working in the tech sales, New York City startup space for the last 3 years prior to starting Volca. And I partnered up with an actual buddy from high school, one of my childhood best friends, who had a background related to the trades, where his family owned a general contracting company, very familiar working in construction as his early jobs throughout high school, summer jobs, you name it. But had a really good pulse on the trades and kind of what was going on in the tech world specifically. And I was working for various other industries, whether it be real estate, e-commerce, but all things related to AI technology. How do we automate certain processes, make things better for your customer base? And we landed upon an idea around referrals and around like turning your best customers into your best closers. And that transformed into what Volca was today, where I've built out plenty of referral programs in software at my other software jobs, where I would use my customers, leverage my partners to introduce me to key future clients. And we saw that the home services space is very driven from word of mouth, especially with all things search like Google, SEO, PPC, LSAs. It's ever evolving. AI search is changing. And maybe you can't rely on it as much as you did maybe 5 years ago. So we want to bring people back to the basics using a little bit of AI and tech and build the most scalable and proficient referral programs doing so.
Love it. Well, definitely excited to learn more about that because it is interesting. I was actually at a conference last week and they said like, I don't know, 65 or 75% of customers for home service companies actually came through referrals and word of mouth, whether that's going to their neighborhood Facebook group and saying, hey, who's got a good plumber, or just asking their friends or asking their neighbors, family members. Yes, plenty of people use Google, but a majority of the people still find home service contractors because they need to find somebody they can trust. And like you said, how do we turn those best customers into our best closers? We know them, we like them, we trust them, and they're going to refer us. So, how does Volca work? Just high level, how does
Yep.
this work from a customer side and from a business side?
Yeah, I'll give the high level rundown of both customer and both B2B. I think you hit it on the head. The whole goal here is that we're casting a web around the entire community where we make it as easy as physically possible for someone to refer via text message, link up to your CRM, primarily a service titan, for example. We'll shoot that over to a service titan. When the job closes, we automate a Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, direct deposit, Amazon, Visa, or future credit towards future services, which is of course, great thing to add customer LTV. But at a high level, we streamline referral processes by building white labeled referral hotlines for each business. So, given the example, a business called HVAC USA, it would be branded to them. And at the end of every job, technicians would be responsible for getting a QR code scan or clicking a button in our mobile app to make sure that people can have that contact on their phone. It's just a contact on your phone. There's no apps, there's no links. We definitely frown upon like referral links. We think they put a weird taste in people's mouth, knowing that someone's getting a kickback for referring you to a trusted provider. So there's no links, there's no apps that a homeowner has to download or a B2B partner. All people really have to do is have a contact on their phone that's going to interact with a little bit of AI, shoot over information about their referees to the business, and we'll make it really run smoothly throughout its journey in the CRM. And then, as I mentioned earlier, automating that payment and really taking work away from the old method of a referral program, whereas you leave a postcard or a flyer or a door hanger, like $250 if you refer us to your neighbor. Then when somebody calls in and like, hey, Paul referred me down the road, the technician has to then get that information to the CSR, mark it in the CRM correctly. Lots of potential human error, and then most importantly, people in accounting. cutting checks at the end of a month. There's no instant gratification, just like or convenience, just like I order DoorDash or Uber Eats all the time and I click a button and food shows up. People want to be treated the same when it comes to referring. So we want to make it as easy as possible and build for the customer experience.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Technology is a beautiful thing. So obviously a lot of this is, this is really focused on, and you kind of referenced a little bit, let's not rely on Google, let's not rely on paid ads. Let's build an organic organization. We deliver good work. People want to tell other people about it. What are, whether it's some results you've seen or data that's out there, what's the difference as far as performance for a business, whether it's revenue, margin, customer lifetime value, average ticket, between organic customers that are coming to us through word of mouth versus, hey, I saw your ad on Google and I clicked on it?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to cost per lead, but most importantly, cost per acquisition. Cost per acquisition is what we're focused on. And when we're building a referral program, and you're getting a deal that's a $20,000 new install, and your total marketing cost was that $200 or $100 referral payment, or even potentially referral credit that you gave to a customer, that's what we're aiming to lower. So, of course, I think Google, LSAs, PPC, SEO, it's all a necessity. I'm not saying that you should kill that at all. It's just let's get creative and make sure that you have every angle of a marketing approach. One of our clients in Ohio, he's actually closed coming in on $200,000 in referral revenue. And he's been on the platform for a little bit over 3 months. And we just feel like we're just getting the ball rolling now, where we've got it going on the B2B side. He actually hired a full-time position, a B2B field marketing manager, to go around in local communities and explain this referral process, like why they're a trusted brand. The first thing first, you have to be referable to get referrals. And that's what we learned the hard way when we started picking out and signing on our early clients. But now that we've been around for a year, got some reps under our belt, we really have a good playbook for building world-class referral programs.
Yeah, and there's probably a whole nother element to it. That's probably a whole nother conversation. But even just staying top of mind with the person that's referring us is probably going to get them to spend more money with us because they're going to continue to support us because we're going to continue to remind them that, hey, we actually exist. So going even to the customer lifetime value of like, hey, we've already worked really hard to get this customer. A lot of times in COVID kind of skewed this for everybody is like we didn't even once someone reached out to us and we did work for them, we just like ignored them after that, right? Like on to the next one, on to the next one. And but now things are a little bit tighter. And it's like, wow, we've got all this massive database. Why don't we actually leverage it to grow our business? To the customer acquisition cost per acquisition is so important because, like you said, the difference between cost per lead and cost per acquisition be very, very skewed when you're looking at, hey, how many, going from a Google model versus, yeah, LSAs might be $100 per lead, but what are we actually closing on that versus this? We're actually paying them once we acquire them. So when you reference $100, $200, is the referral payment, is it a flat dollar amount? Is it a percentage of what the referred person spends? How does that work?
Yeah, so I think the power of Volca is that we do add flexibility to make this customizable to each client. Like our clients know their customer base better than we do. We want to learn it as much as possible. I think a lot of them, they do a flat percentage of the ticket size of the job that's actually going to come in. That might be a 5%, 7%, 10%. It's really whatever they're comfortable with and what they deem as a significant win and a significant increase compared to their cost per acquisition. And you mentioned you get a lead on an LSA, $100. Like, what's the percentage? What's your closing percentage on that? These referrals, they're closing at a 75, 85, all the way up to a 90% hit rate with some of our clients, where we're really trying to breed real referrals, like real people interactions, where a neighbor comes to you asking, hey, I saw this truck in your driveway. Who did that HVAC for you? Who does your plumbing? Who does your electrical? Do they do a great job? And that's what we're trying to build on.
Love it. So how do you stay top of mind for the people actually giving out the referrals? Because I'm just thinking this in my head, like, cool, plumber came here today, gave me this cool thing. A month from now, 6 months from now, I probably forgot that thing. And when someone asks me what plumber did I use, I'll probably remember the name, but I might
Yep.
not be super accessible to, oh, here's the number to call or however the logistics work. I know you said you add them as a contact. So is it really, do you guys then like remind people on a regular basis to like, hey, you haven't referred anybody yet. Don't forget about us. What's that look like?
Yeah, and I think that is also another really valuable feature of Volca. where the old method I keep mentioning, like you leave that business card behind that explains the referral program. Most people know those business cards, they end up in one place, and that one place is probably the trash. I go to plenty of conferences, and I probably have a stack of business cards. I could maybe pull them. They're somewhere in my room, but I might have a stack this big. I don't think I've ever contacted anybody or know that this business card is actually relevant. So what we do is when people are giving the referral program and referral like enablement, it's just a contact card, and we actually have their marketing consent because they opted into these messaging via the QR code, and then we'll sync up with other tools. But we're gonna drip campaign these people every 4, 5, or 6 weeks. We don't do more than 4 weeks because homeowners get spammed enough. We don't want to treat this as like an upsell opportunity. We want to treat this as an opportunity, a favor for you to make money by referring your community. We're not being like, hey, rebook business with us, anything like that. So once every month and a half, we're going to stay top of mind by running certain promotions or simple reminders. I would say a good example of a promotion that we ran that was extremely successful was, would it be fair to say Christmas time is usually a very slow time for trades businesses?
For sure.
Nobody wants anyone in their home. So we ran a promotion with our customer base, with our client base that said, hey, Merry Christmas to you and your families. Referral prices are actually doubled from $100 to $200 anytime between December 20th and January 10th. Maybe you can buy your kid a Christmas gift with this money. Just simple things like that, cutting through the noise, doing it over text message. We saw a huge influx of referrals come in, and referral rates skyrocketed, and we took a usually slow time and turned it into a busy time.
That's awesome. So we've talked a lot about a lot already, but what are some of the other keys that I haven't asked about, or I don't know what I don't know? What are some of the keys in setting up an actual successful referral program other than the things we've already talked about? Because like we said at the beginning, it's like always a great idea. Everyone gets all fired up. Yeah, we're going to give out Amazon gift cards. We're going to do all this. And then it's like we put it in our email newsletter and then it's like crickets. It's like, well, that
Yep.
didn't work. On to the next thing. So, other than what we've already mentioned, what are some of the other keys that have to be in place in order to set up a successful referral campaign?
Yeah, I mean, there are a ton of keys, but one I want to key on is that I think a lot of referral programs forget to incentivize and incentivize every piece of the puzzle. So people think about the customer, people think about the business. Everyone forgets about your employees and the technician. They are a vital piece to making this referral program work. Instead of it just being one director of marketing or a marketing manager running the referral program as the sole entity in the company, that's one person. Like, how many people are you really going to be able to reach being a one-man operation? So we want to make sure, and we do this within Volca, where our companies had the data and tracking behind which referrals actually came from which technician's job. Are they presenting it in the right way? We'll review like recorded scripts, like when people are using a tool like Zero or a tool like Rilla, Sales Pro. Making sure that this checkout process is about the referral program and making sure, just like people spiff $20, $50 for a 5-star review, you're going to want to spiff your technicians as well and treat this as a TGL, like a tech generated lead. So we think that putting this in front of the technicians, making them have some skin in the game, making sure that they can earn extra dollars, but also earn a happier and larger customer base. It's like a personal referral line. It's not just you're referring the company, you're referring Don, the technician. We play on the empathy, but also the potential cash reward.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, and it's so true because sometimes we let our technicians kind of well, I don't want to do that. That's a stupid idea. And we're like, oh, okay, we won't roll it out yet, right? And then we just kind of forget about it, move on. So when you can get everybody involved, and I know a lot of people a lot of techs get incentivized for even just getting Google reviews with their name in it. But then this thing could, really they do one really good job for a neighbor that loves them. That could be, 10 leads within the next year. Because obviously with the trades, a lot of them, we don't need them today, but when we do need them, who are they going to remember?
Yeah.
Do we have a strong brand? Are we staying top of mind and all that kind of stuff? So going into that, I know, a big thing that you guys also focus on is branding, social media, expanding our reach, and really just becoming that, go-to expert in the community. How can we tie this in, expand our reach, social media branding and all that? And how does it play into what Volca does as well?
Yeah, I mean, another key factor that I don't think is as important as the technician incentivization, but it is important to creating a world-class referral program, is making sure that this is available online to not just your customers. Of course, your customers are going to give the best referrals because they have that experience with a strong brand who did a great job and a great experience with a technician. But posting this on Facebook and having directly attributed campaigns, like we'll create different campaigns for the brands we work with, one for Facebook, one for Instagram, one for Twitter, one for the local newsletter. Whatever you want to blast this referral program out to, it's all about casting that reach. And I always like draw the analogy to like a spider drawing its web. Make sure everybody knows that they can get it, that they can get some sort of reward for doing this. And eventually, we want to evolve much past cash rewards. It's not part of the Volca system just yet. But imagine we can create these win-win-win scenarios where it's also discounts for the person you're getting referred, or maybe it's a donation to charity, or maybe it just goes straight to the technician. I think a lot of wealthier demographics, they don't really care about the $100 or $200. It's more just about staying top of mind. But it would be great to be able to do something good with that money.
Yeah, no, that's a super cool idea because if they have a charity or cause that they're super passionate about, they might tell themselves, "Oh, we'll get the money, we'll donate it," but a lot of times it doesn't happen because life happens and the money goes in the bank account and we just forget about it. But even just expanding that reach of, "Hey, we're running a campaign and you can choose it to go to this charity if you want. We're supporting the local community." I think that's super cool. So you had mentioned earlier kind of creating that B2B referral program as well, where now we can start leveraging other businesses. Obviously, they have a customer base, so they have a platform. We had Louis Vandervalk on here a couple of weeks ago, and he was big into creating those referral partners amongst other business owners as well. How does that work for Volca? Is it the same of just like that business gets all the money, or do you help kind of create those relationships? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think the standard business to business referral is very much owner based, where it's like, hey, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. We don't really have any tracking around it, but I'll send you a couple leads a month. You send me some back. It's really no pressure. We want to make this on the employee level and on the technician level, where a plumber inside someone's home can refer to a local HVAC brand that they have an official partnership with. So we'll actually I'll get on the phones and I'll try to make these relationships for our clients, where I don't think we have the scalable method yet. We're working on that in the background right now of like, how can we also source B2B referral partners? But an example I could give is a client of ours. They are a drain and sewer company, and they love to be partnered with plumbers. They're not doing the work of the plumbers. They're non-competitive at all. We've been working on getting the referral hotline out to the local plumbers in the area, and have started seeing that is the angle for that company, where it's just a very, very easy, low lift. They can just text the name, text the number. Whenever any of their customers bring up a clog or a drain issue, it's going to go to our drain client.
Sweet. Awesome. What have we not talked about, Don? We've talked about a lot, but I'm sure there's things that we've missed. What are some of the other things that our listeners should know about not only just Volca, but creating referral partnerships in general, whether it's with our customers, with other business owners? What haven't we talked about that we should?
Let me think on that. It is just about creating this like community engagement. I think it's very overlooked within the trades. Like I think people think it's a nice to have and not really a need, but we're trying to shift the mindset of that this organic marketing, guerrilla marketing tactics need to come back and play with the cost per lead ever rising. So we're on a mission to kind of broaden the term referral. Of course, right now we're focused on those like real referrals that are actually face-to-face human interactions in the field, in the real world happening. But some of our clients, they get like referrals at church. They get referrals in the grocery store. Make sure everybody has this line and try to do some good with it and be creative. I think it really allows people to just expand their creativity and hopefully, again, I keep going back to cast a net, spin that web. That's what good brands and good referable brands should do, and they should capitalize on it.
They definitely should. So as we begin to wrap this up, Don, we like our listeners to take immediate action. So we don't want to overwhelm them, but we want to make sure they have something they could take away from this and go do right away. What is one thing that you would recommend our listeners go do and take action within the next 24 hours so that way they can start moving their business a little bit closer to where they want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I would do if you are getting referrals on the B2B side, go talk to those people, go re-engage them, maybe ask why the referrals have dropped off, or what you could do to make it easier to actually make an official program. So besides actually talking to them, make sure you have your specs of your program written out, fleshed out, whether it's a refer a friend on the website. I see a lot of refer a friend pages on websites. We're also trying to kind of kill forms. No one's going to open the computer and type something in. I would change that refer a friend form to explaining the program. Earn $250, earn a percentage. Make it very, very clear what's in it for the customer, what's in it for the partner, and blast that out. Like, start running a referral program. You don't need Volca to do so just now. We're actually more referral accelerators than generators, where we need to work with brands who are getting referrals and who are referable in the first place. So start getting those referrals in the door, and then maybe you'll see the pains of managing it, running it inefficiently, and then we can put some gas in the fire with some cool technology.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the show a lot, but that B2B referral I think is so overlooked because usually we're home service companies. We're dealing with, residential customers and not business owners, so we don't even think about it. But like you said, oh, so and so sends me a lead once in a while. But you can take the time to nurture those relationships, formalize those partnerships. It really goes a long way because a lot of times even the owner knows, but all the technicians, I mean, our technicians are in people's homes every day. I would say at least 50% of the time, they're like, if you're an electrician, Don, they're like, hey, by the way, do you know a good plumber? And they're like, I don't know. I know my owner knows a couple, but I don't know. I just recommend go to Google. Whereas, like, if we have that formalized for everybody that's interacting with our customers, we're going to get those questions all the time. And then we become the go-to resource of like, hey, we trust Don. So anybody that Don recommends, we're going to trust as well, whether it's HVAC, plumbing, roofing, windows, doors, garage door, all the home services. Don's our go-to guy because he was the first electrician we trusted. So love it. Nurture those B2B referral, start to formalize everything. Don Rabovsky, thank you again for coming on the show, sharing your journey, and providing a ton of actual advice for all the blue collar business owners out there as we continue on this journey to prosperity. But before we sign off, Don, where can our listeners go to keep in touch with you, learn more about Volca, and see how it can help them?
Yeah, our website is volca.ai. That's where you can go on, potentially book a demo. You can always contact me at don@volca.ai. That's my email or my phone number, 301-938-9428. I'll put it out there. I'll take any calls, accept it. I'm on this phone 24/7, so I love to talk to the people of the trades and learn about their problems, and hopefully we can help solve them.
There you guys go. So Volca is Volca.ai. So go to Volca.ai or email don at Volca.ai.com, or rewind this 30 seconds and call him. He just gave you his phone number. I didn't write it down, but it's here. So rewind it. Awesome, Don. Appreciate you so much and coming on the show today.
And yeah, Paul, I love what you're saying about make it formal. I think that is the best piece of action for business owners right now. When you do something, you can't really half-ass it. So formalize it, make it official, and hopefully Volca can be that catalyst that sources, pays, and runs it for you.
There you all go. Make it formal. Don, thanks again for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.